Jai Hind, my dear students. So today we will going to start with the third chapter, that is Ishwaram the storyteller. So here the meaning of this title is Ishwaram the storyteller means that Ishwaram is a person who is having the art of telling story. Means this man he is having art of telling. He means here he is good at telling stories. So this story is mainly about Ishwaram and his supervisor Mahendra. One night Mahendra woke up from his sleep and saw a dark cloudy form. He broke out into a cold sweat. Was it a ghost? Now, as I told you that this story is about Mahendra. So one night he was sleeping and in the midnight he just woke up from his bed and he saw that the outside that the weather was cloudy and he was sweating because he got very scared and he thought that it was a ghost. This story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man, Mahendra by name. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on hire supervisors at various types of construction sites, factories, bridges, dams and so on. Mahendra's job was to keep an eye on the activity at the work site. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office. From a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction site, from there after a few months to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. So in this paragraph, now this story was narrated by Ganesh to Mahendra, and this man Mahendra was a junior supervisor whose work was to move from place to place, as he was the one who used to supervise the activities of the laborers. And which place he used to go? He used to go at the construction site. Construction site, and there he used to supervise the work of laborers, as he used to get order from his head of office. So here who is Mahendra? He was a junior supervisor and he used to supervise all the activities of the labor at the construction site, as he used to get order from his head office. He was a bachelor, his needs were simple, he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odd conditions, whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of a stone quarry. But one set he had was his cook, Ishwaram. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was posted. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, chatted away with his master. At night, he could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on varied subjects. Now, in this paragraph, what is there that this paragraph tell us about Mahendra and his cook? So, who was cook? The cook was Ishwaram. He used to cook food for Mahendra, but here Mahendra was a bachelor, he was unmarried and he was having the quality to adjust himself in all the conditions. And this the cook Ishwaram, he was very attached to Mahendra. So wherever Mahendra used to get posted, he used to go along with him and he used to do all the work for Mahendra. What kind of work he used to do for Mahendra? Like he used to wash his clothes, chatted away with his masters at nights and cooked for him. So these were the work that he used to do for his supervisor called Mahendra. Ishwaram also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere in the middle of a desolate landscape with no shops visible for miles around. He would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dish made with fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at the new workplace. So what is the meaning of desolate? Means empty. You can say empty or uninhabited. and conjure means to produce. Now what Ishwaran used to do, he was a cook, he was the cook of Mahendra. So wherever Mahendra used to get posted, this Ishwaram, this man, he used to go along with him, and along with him he used to take all the vegetables and ingredients that he needed to cook food for his Mahendra. So he was very good at it, and he also used to tell him stories at night. Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. Meanwhile, Ishwaram would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath, pouring several buckets of water over his head, muttering a prayer all the while. It would be lunchtime by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. The book was usually some popular Tamil thrill running to hundreds of pages. It is imaginative descriptions and narrative flourishes would hold Ishwaram in the thrill. Now in this paragraph, what happens? This man, Mahendra, a junior supervisor, he need to go to his work, so he used to get up early in the morning, and once he get up early in the morning, his cook, Ishwaram, he also get up along with him. He used to cook breakfast for him, and this man, Mahendra, he used to take breakfast along with him that was prepared by his cook Ishwaram. And after that, this Ishwaram, he used to get his free time, and in that free time he used to take bath, he used to wash clothes, and he used to clean all the rooms. And while taking bath, what he used to do? He used to, what is the meaning of muttering? Means in a low voice. So he used to mutter the prayer while he used to take bath. And after that, it was the time of lunch, so he used to cook lunch for him. And after completing all his work, this man, the Ishwaram, the storyteller, what he used to do, he was a great lover of Tamil thrill, means he used to love to read the books of Tamil. And in that book, what he used to read imaginative descriptions and narrative flourishes would things that were like very attractive, that attracts this Ishwaram. And from this book he used to imagine and just create stories in his mind that appeared to be real, and that attracted the Mahendra when he used to narrate him at night time. His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest of incident, he would try to work in a suspense and a surprise ending into the account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway. Now what is happening in this paragraph, that once he used to read this Tamil thrill, he got very involved in this while reading this book, and he used to just imagine and create stories in his mind that appears to be like real one. So here he gives one example of it. Like once, what happened, he came across a place where he saw a uprooted tree on the highway. He would say with eyebrows suitably arched and hands held out in a dramatic gesture, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. I was half inclined to turn and go back, but as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree. With its dry branches spread out, Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair and listen to Ishwaram's tales uncritically. Now what is happening here? What happened, this cook Ishwaram, he went to a place where he saw an uprooted tree on the highway, and once he saw this tree, he thought that something is there, something very scary is there. So he was about to run back, but he saw that the road was also deserted and he was all alone. So he got very scared, he got very afraid. So he is saying here that he was about to run back, but he just got the courage to move a little bit, and when once he started moving forward, he saw that it was a fallen tree on the highway, and its dry branches they were spread all around. So this was the story. This was the story that was narrated by Ishwaram to his junior supervisor. Means junior supervisor, who was he? He was Mahendra. He is telling the story to Mahendra. So this man, he was Mahendra. He listened to him as he was telling him the real story, and he was taking very interest in it. The place I came from is famous for timber. Ishwaram would begin. There is a richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled onto the lorries by elephants. They are huge, well-fed beasts. When they turn wild, even the most experienced Mayhout is not able to control them. After this prologue, Ishwaram would launch into an elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. Now, in this paragraph, what happens here? Who is I here? Ishwaram. Ishwaram, the cook of Mahendra. So he started narrating another story. Now here, what he says, that he came to a famous place that was famous for timber. Timber is wood. Means he came to a place where there was a large, there was a dense forest, and forest was containing the wood of timber. Most of the trees were of timber, the logs. And in this, what happens, these trunk of these trees, they were transported, or you can say carried. Hauled means to carry or transported by the elephants to different places. And the elephants were well fed, means they were given good food, they were given proper diet. So what the Ishwaram here wants to say, that when these elephants get mad and when they get distracted by something, even the most experienced Mayhout means the one who take care of elephant. So he says that even the most experienced Mayhout is not able to control them. Means in fact they were not able to handle them. So from here the story begins about the elephant that was narrated by Ishwaram to Mahendra. One day a tusker, who is tusker here? The elephant. Tusker means elephant. Escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about, stamping on bushes, tearing up wild creepers and breaking branches at will. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Ishwaram would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about, stamping his feet in emulation of the mad elephant. Now he started telling the story of elephant to Mahendra. What he says that one day what happens, this elephant, he just run away from this forest and he began running here and there, and he started destroying many things. Like what were the things? Stamping means hitting with force. He started hitting the bushes, means he started destroying the bushes. He tear up wild creepers and breaking branches, and he started destroying the branches of the tree with his powerful force. So he says, sir, who is Sir here? Mahendra, to whom Ishwaram was telling the story, that how elephants behave when it goes mad. So he tells him that when an elephant goes mad, then what are the things that is done by these mad elephants. And while telling this story, this Ishwaram, he was so involved, he got so engrossed in his story that he with excitement, in his excitement, he got up from the floor and he just started moving here and there, and starting with action, he started telling the story of elephant to Mahendra. Like he started hitting he started copying that how mad elephants behave. The elephant reached the outskirt of a town. Outskirt means outer area. So this elephants, after running from the forest, he reached outer area of the town. And what he did there, he just broke the fence. And for him, this fence were like matchstick. Means it was easy for him to break. He continued to breaking the fence. Then it came into the main road. Then this elephant, this mad elephant, he came into the main road and he smashed all the stalls. Means he destroyed. Smashed means to destroy something. Destroy. So he destroyed all the stalls of many things, stalls of fruits, mud pots, clothes. That the people who were selling their things, he destroyed all the things. People run. Helter and skelter means here and there. People were very scared. They became very nervous, so they started running here and there because they got very panicked. The elephant now entered a school ground, and after destroying all these things, he entered in a school where children were playing and shut the doors. And what he did, he just broke the walls, he broke the windows. And in this paragraph, what happens, this elephant, he just reached to a school where children were playing, studying. So when he entered in the school, he just broke the windows, doors, and in fact the football goal also, and in fact the net also he tear. And then what happens, the teachers also got very nervous. They just climb up the stairs. They just went to the roof on the roof of the school, and they helplessly watched. And from there, all the teachers were watching the behavior of the elephant, and that how he was attacking and how he was destroying the things. Depredation means to attack to destroy something. So there was not a soul below on the ground. So nobody was there on the ground because all were scared of the elephant, so they went away. The streets were all empty, and it appeared that nobody used to live there. The entire town had suddenly disappeared. As the people were very scared, they got very afraid, so they moved here and there. So here the writer is telling, means Ishwaram is narrating the story to the Mahendra that at that particular time, street was appearing that no people were living there. I was studying in the junior class. Now he tells the Mahendra that who is I here? The Ishwaram. He says that when this incident took place, I was in a junior class. Means he was in a lower class and was watching the whole drama. Now he is narrating to Mahendra. Now what he says that I was watching all the behavior and all the drama from the rooftop of the elephant. And what he did, I don't know what come over me suddenly. I grabbed the cane from the hand of one of the teacher and ran down the stair into the open. The elephant grunted menacingly, swaying a branch of a tree which it held in its trunk. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. It looked frightening, but I moved slowly towards it, stick in hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized from nearby housetop. The elephant looked at me, red eyes, ready to rush towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. At that moment, I moved forward and mustering all my force, waked its third toy nail on the quick. The beast looked stunned for a moment, then it shivered from head to foot and collapsed. Now, in this paragraph, what he says, Ishwaram, the cook of Mahendra, he is narrating the story to the Mahendra, and he says that when this incident took place, he was in a junior class and he was watching all the incidents, all the drama of the elephants, and he says that suddenly, all of a sudden, an idea came to his mind that he took a cane stick from one of his teacher's hand, and he just hit on the toy of the elephants. And in fact, he was not able to know, he was not knowing that what was happening at that time. So all people were scared of the elephant, but he took this stick and he just hit the toy, hit at one on one toy of the elephant, and the elephant, he got very stunned, he got very shocked in fact, and he was shaking. He was started shivering from head to foot, and collapsed means unconsciously, and he just fell on the ground unconsciously. At this point, Ishwaram would leave the story, and after narrating till here, the Ishwaram, the Ishwaram, he just left the story. He stopped narrating the story to the Mahendra. Why he left? Because he wanted to create interest. He wanted to create curiosity in the mind of Mahendra to know what will happen next. So here I am reading. Unfinished and get up, mumbling, I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. Mahendra, who had been listening with rapt attention, would be left hanging. When he returned, Ishwaram would not pick up the thread of the story right away. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Ishwaram would shrunk casually. 2 days later, it was led away by its meow to the jungle. Now, in this paragraph, what happens? He just left the story unfinished, and because of his unfinished story, as he was narrating to the Mahendra got very curious to know the end of the story. So he reminded Ishwaram that still the story is left, still the conclusion of the story is not told by him to him. So what he says, that a veterinary doctor, the one who is very specialized in treating the animals. So he says that he tells the Mahendra that after that a veterinary doctor was called. Someone means to called, and who took the who just looked after the elephant, and after 2 days, it is written here, this elephant was taken away in the forest by the Mayout. I told you, as Mayout is the one who takes the care of the elephant. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaram? How did you bring down the beast? Now, these were the questions asked by the Mahendra when he listened to his story. He said that how you managed to hit the elephant, how you managed to make the elephant calm. It has something to do with a Japanese art. Japanese art means martial art. So he says that so you can say karate or jujitsu, it is called. He says that he had read somewhere about this martial art, so he applied this art here in this incident, that he knows that this martial art will paralyze the nervous system of the elephant or anything. Not a day passed without Ishwaram recounting some story packed with adventure, horror and suspense. Now here what the Mahendra is saying, that not even a single day was left when this Ishwaram did not tell or narrate any story to this man. Mahendra means every day he used to tell new story to Mahendra. Whether the story was credible or not, means whether the story was interested or not, but this Ishwaram, he used to tell the story to Mahendra. Mahendra enjoyed listening. So this man, he was very excited. He also listened and he also enjoyed the story that was narrated to him by the Ishwaram. Immutable way in which it was told. He listened to him because he was very interested, not listening to the story, but the way it was narrated by the Ishwaram. Ishwaram seems to be more than makeup for the absence of TV in Mahendra's living quarter. So here Mahendra is highlighting the quality of Ishwaram, that in fact he was not needed the TV in his room, because Ishwaram was there to narrate, to act, to entertain him in every possible way. One morning when Mahendra was having breakfast, Ishwaram asked, "Can I make something special for dinner tonight, sir?" So one day what happens after that, one morning when Mahendra was doing his breakfast, eating his breakfast, so Ishwaram, as I told you that Ishwaram was his cook, so he asked Mahendra that can he cook something special for dinner. So after all, today is an auspicious day. According to tradition, we prepare various delicacies to feed the spirit of our ancestors today, sir. So he told them that according to our tradition, it is a very auspicious day when we cook food, when we cook different different delicious dishes for our ancestors. That night, Mahendra enjoyed the most delicious dinner and complimented Ishwaram on his culinary skill. So, at that night, Mahendra also got very delicious dinner, and he just praised Ishwaram for his food, the way he cooked. He seems very pleased but unexpectedly launched into a most garish account involving the supernatural. Now, from here he started. He made food, he cooked the dinner for Mahendra and they enjoyed. But from here he started talking about the supernatural things. Now, again from here he started narrating another story to this man. Who is this man? Mahendra. You know, sir. Sir is Mahendra. So, this entire factory area were occupying was once a burial ground. And what he says that where they were living at that particular time, he told the Mahendra that this area was once a burial ground, means where dead bodies were buried. He started. Mahendra was jogged out of the pleasant reverie he had drifted into after the satisfying meal. I knew on the first day itself when I saw a human skull laying on the path. Even now I came across a number of skulls and bones, Ishwaram continued. And what he says, this man, Mahendra, he was in a mood of happiness because he had very good dinner at that night. So he was listening to him, and what Ishwaram told him that I have seen many skull of the humans lying on this area. And likewise, he continued telling his story about the supernatural things over here. He went on to narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night. I am not easily frightened by these things, sir. I am a brave fellow. But one horrible ghost of a woman which appears off and on at midnight during the full moon. It is an ugly creature with matted hair and a shriveled face, like a skeleton holding a fetus in its arm. Mahendra shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply. You are crazy, Ishwaram. There are no such things as ghosts or spirits. It is all a figment of your imagination. Get your digestive system examined and maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense. He left the room and retired for the night, expecting Ishwaram to suckle for a couple of days. But the next morning he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. From that day on, Mahendra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed, trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shapes in the city, but he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away. Now, in this paragraph, what happens now? The Ishwaran, the storyteller, the cook of Mahendra, he started with the new story. Now he started narrating the new story to Mahendra, and what he says here that he talks about a ghost, and the ghost was lady who was holding a fetus in her arms, and she used to appear in the full moon time. And he described this ghost lady as an ugly creature with her matted hair and shriveled face like a skeleton holding a fetus in its arm. So here he says that this woman ghost of a woman, she appears in full moon and she is very ugly creature with matted hair and a shriveled face, and she is like a skeleton holding a fetus in her arms. Now, after hearing this story from Ishwaram, Mahendra got very surprised, and in fact he got very scared of listening to this description. So he interrupted. He stopped in between the story in story while Ishwaram was narrating. And what he says, "Are you crazy, Ishwaram? So he started pointing out mistakes and weaknesses of Ishwaram, that he is believing on wrong things or on his imagination. What he says that go and this is your figment of your imagination, means this is a small part of your imagination. This you have imagined, that is why you feel like this. So what he says, he advised him. Who advised Mahendra? He advised Ishwaram to go and get examine his digestive system as well as his head. Why he says this? Because he thought that he is gone mad or something wrong is happening with him, as he was talking nonsense. So Ishwaram, he left the room after listening to Mahendra, and but here Mahendra was expecting that Ishwaram is upset now. He is sad as he got scold from the Mahendra. So he thought that Ishwaram will not going to come for 2 days. But in the morning, when next morning he saw that he was as cheerful and as talkative as ever. Who was cheerful and talkative? The Ishwaram, the cook of Mahendra. And from that day, Mahendra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Every night he peered into the darkness. So here, Mahendra, he became habitual of listening to the story of Ishwaram. So he just went back and he started looking out of the window every night and trying to make sure that there was no movement. Means he was scared, but he was consoling himself that nothing was like that, no spirits, no ghosts were there. He had always liked to admire the milk white moon. So here what he says, the writer is saying that this Mahendra, he used to admire the milk white landscape on full night. But after hearing Ishwaram's story of the female ghost, he avoided looking. So here what the writer is saying, that after listening to the story of Ishwaram, he got very scared, so he stopped looking out of the window. One night, Mahendra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. At first, he put it down to a cat crawling around for mice, but the sound was too guttural for a cat. He resisted the curiosity to look out, lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart, but the wailing became louder and less feline. He could not resist the temptation anymore. So what happens here, that this man Mahendra, he was once he was sleeping, so in midnight he got up, and what he heard that he heard a low sound, low voice. So he could say he received, or he thought, you can say, that it was the sound of the feet of the cat who was moving in the house to catch mice. But after some time he found that nothing was like that, and some more other noises were coming out of the house. So he was unable to control himself, and he wanted to see that actually what is happening. Lowering himself to the level of the window sill, he looked out at the wild sheet of moonlight outside. So he consoled himself, he got the courage, and he was trying to look out of the window. There, not too far away, was a dark cloudy form clutching a bundle. Mahendra broke into a cold sweat, fell back on the pillow. So he saw darkness, dark cloudy. So he just went back to his bed and he just put his head on the pillow because he got very scared, and sweating started on his body. Painting broke into a cold sweat and fell back on the pillow painting. As he gradually recovered from the hasty experience, he began to reason with himself, finally concluded that it must have been some sort of auto-suggestion, some mistake that his subconscious had played on him. But now here what he started consoling himself that nothing was like that. Whatever he was thinking, it was the thought, it was the story that he had heard from the Ishwaram about the woman ghost holding a fetus in her arm. So he started consoling himself, and he was thinking that some subconscious part of his mind has played a game on him. By the time he had got up in the morning, had a bath, and came out to have his breakfast, the horror of the previous night had faded away from his memory. Now, next morning, what happens? This Mahendra, he got up from his bed, he took bath, he came out to and had his breakfast, and the horror of previous night, whatever happened last night, he forgot all about it. So Ishwaram greeted him at the door with his lunch. So Ishwaram gave him lunch and his bag. But here what happens? Just as Mahendra was stepping out, Ishwaram grinned and said, now what is happening here? When Mahendra was going out for the work on the construction site, at this particular time, Ishwaram again reminded him that, sir, remember the other day when I was telling you about the female ghost with a fetus in its arm? You were so angry with me for imagining things. Well, you saw her yourself last night. I came running, hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room. Now again here what is happening? This Ishwaram, the narrator, the one who narrates this story to the Mahendra every night. So he again reminded him that once I was telling you the story of this ghost, you were not believing me and you were getting angry on me. Now what happened? You yourself saw the woman holding a fetus in her hand. So I came running, hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room. And he reminded him that when you heard the noise, when you heard the sound, so I was the one who came into your room while running. A chill went down Mahendra's spine. Now again he was reminded of the same thing. So again he got very scared. Who got scared? The Mahendra. So he did not wait for the Ishwaran to complete his sentence. So this time Mahendra did not wait for his cook to complete his sentence. And what happens? He hurried away to his office and handed in his paper, resolving to leave the haunted place the very next day. So in this way, what happens? Mahendra, he was so panicked, he was so scared of listening all these things, all these stories of the Ishwaram, that he decided, without waiting for a second, he decided that he will going to leave this haunted place and he will going to shift somewhere else. So in this chapter, Ishwaram, the storyteller, he tells the story of uprooted tree that he saw on the highway. Then second, he narrated him the story of an elephant, that how an experienced mayhap also not able to control the elephant when it gets out of control. And third, he told the story of a woman holding fetus in her arm. So these three main stories that were narrated by Ishwaram to Mahendra, and because of these horrorness, you can say, or you can say afraidness, scaredness, Mahendra, the junior supervisor, he was so forced with all these things that he planned to leave the place where he was staying for such a long time, and he decided to move away from his place.